I've had this SR Suntour Raidon fork for 2 years now. There have been some good things and also some not so good things. So let's talk about it. So as I said, I've had this SR Suntour Raidon fork for actually just a little bit over 2 years now. I don't exactly know the number of miles that are on it. Sometimes I use Strava when I ride, and sometimes I forget to turn it on. But it's fair to say that it's seen a lot of good use. And overall it's been pretty solid, but there have been a couple odd quirks and things that needed attention along the way. So I will go over those. And quick apology, I'm just filming this on my iPhone, so the audio quality is not great, but bear with me because I think there's some good information. So the first issue, and I know other people have had this as well, is with the rebound adjustment. And this was this way straight out of the box. What you would do is adjust the rebound on it, and it would eventually get to one point where it would lose some resistance, and then you could just keep spinning it either direction and it would never stop. And really the culprit of that is underneath this cap is this little hex wrench, just like a straight rod. And as you would turn the knob, this would progressively go deeper into the fork, and it would eventually slip off of here completely. And it's just kind of a press fit kind of deal into this cap. So the fix was completely simple. Just get the little hex wrench piece out, had to use some needle nose pliers, clean the cap, clean this, and then just put a dab of super glue in there, and now these two pieces are permanently one, and now that issue doesn't exist anymore. So about 1.5 years into owning this thing, I started noticing some creaking and some weird noises when I was riding, and I think that I could actually attribute that to just dirt and other gunk on the stanchions, and then especially when you come down to the seals, you know, dirt can pile up on there. And a temporary solution to that was to just take a microfiber cloth, clean all that stuff off, and that would work for a couple rides, and then it would start to make that noise again. So ultimately what I did to fix the noise issues that I was having was ordering a rebuild kit for it, and that consisted of new seals, new wipers that are on the inside, and that was kind of weird. The original ones were kind of foam and the other was sort of this compacted, I don't know, it was a different material. So I replaced those, and then it also came with this bottom air piston. So really what happens on the inside here, there's the air chamber, this just sits down on the bottom, and then beneath that is a spring. So the idea was that you replace this at the same time. I didn't do that because the only way to do that is to take this top nut, or the seal off the top here, and my socket has a little bit of a dish to it and wouldn't actually sit down on there. So I never even bothered to replace this, but just cleaning it really well on the inside and replacing the seal and the wipers has been a big improvement on that noise issue. So one of the other problems, or maybe you could actually say that it's just a maintenance item that needed to be done, about almost 2 years into owning this thing, it started losing air. So SR Suntour has a good video that details what you have to do to fix that. And it's pretty simple. I mean, all you really have to do is add a little bit of oil to the air chamber, because it comes with oil and I guess it just maybe leaks out over time. So their video tells you take this entire top assembly off, let the air out, take it off, clean out whatever oil's in there, and put some new oil in. I think it's just like 10 cc's or something, very small amount. Same issue with my socket though. I couldn't get this off because of the dishing on my socket. So instead, all I did, took this off, let the air out of the valve, and I have a valve core remover. So I just took out the valve core, put the bike upside down, not even a single drop of oil came out. And then I used a little injector to inject some oil into it, and I've not had any air leak issues since then. And one other thing that I've noticed, there is a little bit of play between the uppers and the lowers. If you kind of grab on here, actually in this position, I don't even notice it. It's really when the bike is upside down, you can kind of feel it. It could have been that way since it was new. It could have developed over time, I'm not sure. Again, very, very minor. And obviously there has to be a little bit of space for the fork to slide up and down. It can't be completely tight or it would just never move. So outside of those couple little things that I've had to deal with along the way, the fork has been solid overall. One of the nice things about it is that it is adjustable. The travel is adjustable. So currently I have it set to 120 millimeters. It came at 100, and that was good for the frame that I had it on previously. This frame is designed to take 120 millimeter travel fork. The process on that, you do have to take a number of things apart, but it's fairly simple and straightforward, and I will link a video that somebody else did on an Epixon fork. It'll be in the description, and the process is exactly the same, so pretty simple, and you can go up to 140 millimeters on these as well. The overall feel of the fork is nice too. I mean, you have the rebound adjustment. Obviously it's an air fork, so you can put the right amount of air for your weight and your riding style. The weight is also reasonable. You know, if you're looking at one of these forks, you're probably going to be comparing this to the Epixon, and the Epixon is a lighter fork. The overall feel is very similar. I have ridden both of those. This is still much lighter than any coil spring fork you're going to find. So after 2 years of ownership on this SR Suntour Raidon fork, I can pretty confidently recommend this to anybody that's looking for a budget air fork that is actually going to perform a little bit above its price range. Aside from the rebound adjustment, everything else that I pointed out in this video could really just be attributed to maintenance or lack of maintenance on my part. And any fork you get is going to require maintenance for it to continue performing as it should. Alright, well, thank you all for watching. I hope you got some useful information out of this video. You've heard the rest of this pitch a million times from everybody else on YouTube, but if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Think about subscribing to the channel. The more subscribers, the more the channel grows, the more videos I can make, and it's better for everybody. So with that, I will get to cleaning these stanchions and these seals, because as you saw, they were very dirty, and I want this to keep working good for a number of years to come.